Joe has a whole hooligan. Go, brrrah, making cold cool again.
Do it then. Do it!
42 reasons the son of Stephen is even speaking teachings of his increasing belief in season the freezing season easy. We all love to ponder concrete facts, right? We're all just a lot of rotting meat sacks, right? Please stomp a fat stack of beef snacks tight into your deep freezer and be back like 2 or 3 months later. Woo-wee, such flavor to eat and savor. Save your golden oldie pozzoli bowls from becoming wolfed and wholly pulled and stolen by the solely bullies such as woolly mold and roly polies in the fully cold refrigerator. Okay, now take your chucker chicken ribs or slab of Big Mac maker, slap it in your bakeware, stick it on the oven rack, tuck it back and set the temperature to whatever heat you like. Take your vacay in the playa, pay another visit half a year later. Would you taste a mouthful or even cater what became of the dangerous remainder to your least favorite baby? Or maybe throw it out and waste it. It's literally pitch black paper, not just the ground round, but now the house and surrounding grounds around have been roughhoused by a bout of painful changes and created a major crater. And you're an imbecile about to take a taser to the face and catch an arson case for criminal neglect and blatant disrespect of all your neighbors. I don't rest my case though. I'm not tired. I'm not through. It's not my fire. That's on you. Bringing me to reason number 2. I don't know if you ever read the book about the angelic dude named Lucifer who saw God being worshipped and he got a little gel dropped from heaven for a spell and fell pell-mell into a cell that's less than swell called hell, where skeletal remains of evil people scream and yell. Sit and think a little minute about the intrinsic logistics and physics of his mystical trip, and well, you see, the horn-rimmed, crimson-toned, bony grim reapers dimly lit, low the imp-filled, dingy home brims with smoking brimstone, and therefore must be at least 832 in freedom units or a smoldering 480C. Heaven's barely above freezing if it's in between those clouds around our face, or 451 below zero if it's out somewhere in outer space, and we're positive we know that the opposite, positive 451 in Fahrenheit is a downward sloping dystopia. So while you're plowing woefully through my voluminous scope of pandemonia, dopey valuable tropes and spoken doggerel in low-key hopes of coaxing out something valuable or powerful, ask yourself, which do you want for your kids? Floating mansions that are probably cold with an outer hole of polished solid gold, or diabolical, sweaty Freddy Krueger-looking demons hollering in a squalid hole? Now let's go on to reason number 3. Life expectancy. Icelandic people and the Swiss both live to 83, just 1 year up on the Canadians and Norse and Swedes. Then Finland, Denmark, UK, and the USA all closely follow these. There's others that I skipped, but what are the ones I listed have in common? Oh, I got it. They're all over, run out at all the hottest places you could be. You could blame their longevity on their Scandinavian and or Celtic genes, felt and stealth them by their health and wellness scene, and then tell me what you see that's due to being wealthy and deficient in deficiencies. But Brokies in frosty Estonia, Latvia, Russia, and Kazakhstan all beg to differ, living deep into their 70s. According to my sources, 57F's the middling temp of the big 50 or so countries where, a little bit like a tortoise, people live the biggest of life's portions. Flip the script, fiddle with that figure and resort it. It's 75 in the final 50 where life lasts the shortest. I admit they're also all pretty much listed as the poorest. Legend has it, everyone started in Africa then ran like Forrest. 90% of us are born and die in the colder, more forested hemisphere. By that I mean the northest. What's the next reason? 4 is scoops of sherbet, soft serve ice cream, and gelato are freezing things a lot of people love to eat. Nukes top hundreds of millions of degrees and hotter than our sun with these. Choose carefully which one of these your city receives. Now we need 5. Quality of life. It's bound to be around 40-40 outside on any given afternoon or night or morning in the top 10 of this category. This is 6.666C, which is equivalent to britches ditching picnic scenes. That's what the scattered masses in the rich and cliquish teams on this chart would claim. 78's the average for the bottom 10. Therefore, you could say hot in the hood day equals not a good day. Tisk, tisk, quick, skip to 6. Do you enjoy blood-feasting mosquitoes in your greasy, grungy Speedo underneath your cheap and ugly jalapeno Frito crumb-covered 3-piece cheesy pleated dumb tuxedo? Sweet, nice, yeah! Fly to steamy locations such as Myanmar, Taiwan, Iran, Philippines, Iraq, and Thailand. The rest of us who want them suckers to die can plan a hasty retreat to dreamy, freezing beaches where they're never seen, like Antarctica and Iceland. Which brings us to reason 7, a site jammed with heavenly sights grand, where endlessly ice spans the white land of Antarctica, marking the the part of the planet which by far and away has way less death, less pollution, and less crime than any hotter continent. Ask yourself why, man. Now, obviously, it's because research has shown that violence tends to spike in the heat of the summer sun, as the warm weather itself can increase aggressive motives and behaviors in crazy types, despite the fact it's labeled a nice day in paradise, eh? Great! Time to recite 8. If you lie in a pile of snow and wave your limbs, it resembles an angel. If you lie in fiery coals and wave your limbs, you become an angel. Think about it for a while I move on to number 9. Okay, pal, stubborn galler guy, so you rally around love in summertime, cause you get to slum around and slumber lie like a pile of lumber pine. Fine, but unless the numbers lie, that's the most common time of year to be unalived. And I don't know about you, but I love my life, and I don't want to die, at least until some other time. When? Not now, but then. First, let's get to 10. When spring comes in, people begin blowing their noses and sneezing. Many allergies are more bearable in winter, especially in frigid zones where it goes more than a stone's throw below freezing. Oh, by the way, being hexed with the blessing of sinus congestion ties directly in with this next bit. You know that blazing hot water you like to shower in? You know how you like getting fried in there and burned down to a crisp? I'll have you know this flame-bathing behavior inflames and angrily dries out your skin on your cute little cuticles and follicles as pounding doing lots of damages. Robs your natural oils, fats, proteins, and probably your will or time to live. Causes rashes, itching, infertility, and doesn't do a thing for viruses. Not to mention aggravates acne, vexes eczema, exacerbates rosacea, and riles up psoriasis. Was it? Feels like pee, kinda. Meanwhile, courageously turn the dial you see titled Outrageously Blazing H and change it to plain old C. Not speedily, but steadily and patiently, because hey, you see, a cold water shower reduces depression, infections, allergic reactions, and pain and inflammation, improves your sleep and circulation, boosts your brain and concentration, your immune system, fertility, and metabolism all get raises, your willpower and heart get strengthened, you burn kilocalories by the quintillions, you learn well-deserved unmatched emotional resilience. Plus, in all honesty, it's not as long that you can stand it. You don't come out as red as a pomegranate, your water bill after isn't quite as massively expanded, and simultaneously you're a hero that single-handedly saves the entire planet. The unrelenting cold shower presented 11 to 27, so now I'll wash my hands of it and state 28. Things that are hot to not so great. Volcanic lava, explosions, fired bullets, wildfire, heat stroke, crowds of wild tourists, dishes full of jalokia rotting in the sun, the stank of ooey sooty snooty cooties producing rude polluting cities full of looting shooting grifters mixed with suited hippies and commuting sissies oozing sudor singing stupid ditties, the bidding doing of a boiled eye of newt mixed into cauldron stews which you can chalk up to witchy biddies causing steamy poops and pretty juicy humidity, Death Valley, Devil's Island, Tombstone, Arizona, the Sahara Desert, Dead Sea, and Namibia skeleton coastal arid lands that'll roast ya. Eager Molotov cocktail heavers, swings of heated cleavers, breathing ether, seizures, fevers, searing pain from meeting Little Caesars, careening neon screamers, people screeching bleepers in the ER needing needle-piercing tweezers, squeezers, even steaming beakers, or sleazy MDs detonating C4, wearing get-up they thieved from LA's police force as relief for bleeding deformed, skin received from too much beachside leisure at the seashore. Compare that hot mess to cold stuff like the deep sea floor. Alpine lakes, rivers, mountains, streams, waterfalls, feeling like an icy gangster in ties and suits. Salad plates, iced drinks, milky treats, kefir cheese, DQ blizzards, yogurts, and fruits. And I'd boldly assert, ice-cold desserts taste a lot better than taking out the second S as well as pleasure, making it a blazing hot desert. Even though that list was plenty, I will count it all as one, so on to 29. If you're the type that gets a sore and pours in everything you find on the spice rack, then beats it with an overheating iPad, you're gonna cry and need to lay off of the wine snacks before you go down a crime path. Take a nice bath or an ice pack. Feels nice while the swelling dial's back. Talk about a life hack. Pretty sure you're learning, so let's skirt to number 30, even though it's curtain pertinent and literally dirty. Winter is fair and fine and all calm beauty. Summer is characterized by grimy swamp booty. Ewy, shurry, enough disturbing stuff. Let's hurry up and get her done and curb the junk and get to 31. On a cold winter night, you can obviously always add more blankets and fuzzy socks and a pot of blazing turkey soup. Obviously, on a hot summer's day in early June, you can only remove so much before some grudge-lugging busybody Shirley Sue stops and curses you and busses the fuzz, calls the cops and her attorney too, 'cause haters gonna hate and Shirley Sue will surely sue. All irate and in a surly mood concerning nudist you, let's cease, desist, and turn to reason 32. Sleeping in a room with too much heat affects your REM, keeping you from properly shedding heat, leaving you effectively dream-stripped in a sheeted, bedded tomb, sleepless like the undead. Peep this, sleep is objectively better in cold weather, I'm not being facetious. Blame it on stimulation of melatonin creation for the best of rest and extra health. That's science, not my thesis. As for me, I think 33 is the answer to the perfect temp to sleep in and probably can't hurt. Look at the happiness of Dasher, Dancer, Comet, and Prancer and their holly jolly commander. Whereas napping with your pants off can get you cancelled with a 10 gauge by the skinny grinning rancher who lives in the pasture you've trespassed in, plus 10 types of skin cancer. Hecka-sheeps thought Hecka-sheeps, the recently discovered Egyptian mummy, was the oldest ever anywhere at 4,300 years young. Why, nay, sir. Otzi the Iceman was Europe's oldest mummy. He survived 1,000 years longer than the other guy, unprotected besides by a glacier. That was 34. Now let's celebrate with 35. Turning my observant, discerning mind, I turn my working eye to the perfect kind of holidays. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Patty's, Veterans, Valentine's Day, all cold, all told, they all promote love. But in summer, boom, we blow up toxic bombs and scare the squirrely dogs while squirrels abandon nests. People stomp weasels, plus what is even Labor Day or my birthday? Like, okay. So what? 36. In cold months, kids learn ABCs, take PSATs, ACTs, SATs, AP exams, and PERTs. In hot months, they take months off from learning to throw rocks at trains all day in boredom, chug warm 40s, and slam perks. 37. I gotta promise, cold cuts taste a lot better than Hot Pockets, not to mention hot throttle bodies and auto body shops, atomic bombs, electric sockets, and the business end of bottle rockets. 38. Decluttering gutters, sweeping crud and leaves from muddy eaves, and shoveling snow all keeps me young and healthy, plus the sun's not up as much in the winter months to stun and melt me. 39. Ding, bugs are dead, ding, bugs are dead, ding, bugs are dead, ding, bugs are dead. 40. The blessing of the S's. Skiing, snowshoeing, Saint Santa storytelling, skating ice, snowmobiling, snowboarding, s'mores, and sledding. As opposed to spiteful, savage, sick, sad, sorrowful, shady, sketchy, sandal shod, scandalous, sinister, stinking, swimming pool, sitting, sinner, sweating. 41. Look up. Aurora Borealis, the show of northern lights, is best in winter. It's a sheesher and a wower. Also, 140 shooting stars are potentially seen per hour during the December Geminids meteor shower. And last, but for sure not least, when you're froze, you get to dump your own comfort zone. I used to hate it, now I love the cold. I headed west to skip the kicks on 66, that storied and historic route, and dove face first into the snow. I chased cold to the top of the Rockies, going after more than views. It chilled me to the bone. The frigid winter mixed with prettiness taught me fortitude and everything I know. Well, excepting for a few things, such as the fact that sporting dudes in Canada play a game called War Canoe, or that Russia has a population of exactly 14 Georgian Jews, or bananas are berries that elephants born in zoos pour through 6 sets of 4 teeth to chew, or that there's 150,000 grains of sand in 4 teaspoons, or that the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything else, of course, is 42.